We are slowly dying in our day-to-day lives. That was the comment from a fast food worker who walked off the job in Kansas this week. Welcome back to Fresh Outlook. I'm Toschi. It was the largest strike in the history of the fast food industry, and it doesn't look like the effort is going to stop. Workers want two things: the right to unionize and more money. But are the demands too much? Let's have a look.
Hold the burgers, hold the fries!
Protesting fast food workers take a jab at McDonald's during a chant. Today, they joined thousands of fellow restaurant workers to demand a higher pay. They walked out of Burger King's, McDonald's, Wendy's, Domino's, and Papa John's pizzas nationwide.
People deserve to be paid a fair wage.
They want $15 an hour, more than double the minimum wage many of them are paid here in New York.
$7.25 an hour. It's impossible for people like me. I have a 3-year-old daughter.
Strikes are also being held in Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit, Kansas City, and Flint, Michigan.
I walked out at 6 o'clock.
KFC worker Derek Langley makes $7.25 an hour. He says his work conditions are horrible.
I just suffered a second-degree burn.
Tell me how you live off of $7.25.
Basically, you just gotta, sacrifice some things. Some things gotta come first. Whatever you need, that's how I do it, needs and wants. Like whatever I need comes first, whatever I want waits.
Many restaurant CEOs make more in one morning than the average fast food worker will make all year. This according to policy analysts. They claim on average, head honchos earn almost $12 million a year, while full-time workers make a little more than $15,000.
How does it make you feel when you hear that, some of these CEOs are making millions of dollars?
It's life.
A life he's fighting to end. The college-educated man says he hopes to land a job in his field soon, but says the battle isn't just about him.
This is for the kids coming up for the future.
We now welcome Luis de la Hoz, a board member of the statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We also have, of course, Dee Dee Benkie and Dr. Bart Rossi. Thanks again for being here on Fresh Outlook. All right, we're seeing something that we haven't seen before, the biggest walkout in American history of this fast food industry. Should we be worried, and what does this say about the labor?
Well,
Dee Dee, I'll start with you.
$15 an hour? I don't know. I think that sounds like too much money for fast food. And if you don't like the job, move on. And I don't think it's fair for these corporations that have created jobs for them to be the villains here.
So do you think that the supersize is just a little bit too much?
Yeah,
they should be asking for a couple.
And I think unions are always bad. It's a cyclical thing. The reason there are more fast food workers is because we don't have manufacturing due to the unions pushing the manufacturing jobs out of the country. I think this is not good. If you don't like your job, move on.
Let's take everybody's. Luis, we'll see where you stand on this.
I agree that the problem is that a lot of people doesn't have opportunities outside of the fast food industry, because they didn't have the education or they don't have the skills to get other jobs. Now, from the community standpoint, we want to support them, but the problem is the fast food industry is a low margin industry that doesn't allow them to offer better salaries.
So you can move up the food chain, if you will. Dr. Rossi, what are your thoughts?
I think there needs to be a little bit better balance. I think that corporate America today is looked at as a numbers organization. Numbers, making more numbers, making metrics so that the company at the top can do well. And I think that $15 an hour might be a big leap, but I do think there needs to be a balance so that people who are working get a fair stake in what's happening.
And Dee Dee's looking at you like, I don't know.
You just get a second job, or you work hard. Look, I know a lot of people that have worked in fast food, and I know the McDonald's, the model, that's what they do. You can start out frying the fries, and then you can end up owning the place. So, there is a way to do it if you work hard. So just being given more money and throwing more money when you're a kid, I don't think that's necessarily
that's a pretty big leap from working and owning. I think that in between there's stages.
That's the American way. With hard work, you can do it. And I know for a fact in McDonald's that, you don't go right from frying the fries to owning it, but but you're a night manager, then you're a manager, and then you move your way up and you can buy within the company. So there's a way to make it work.
Luis, what are your thoughts? I know you work a lot with the Hispanic community.
Yes, I agree with that comment in the sense that I have a friend, Ramon de Leon, who he started as a delivery guy, and he owns 5 stores. Now, it took him a long time, but that was possible.
Exactly. That's the American dream. There you go.
Yes, and I agree that people need to take all the training that they offer. They need to take the risk. One of the problems is when they offer like an opportunity. They don't want to get the responsibility that the opportunity comes with. And if you need to start just reviewing numbers, or sometimes people doesn't want to be on that position. They just want to do their job and go home.
Well, I was amazed to learn that the fast food industry is the fastest growing industry in the U.S., the hospitality, that is, adding 75,000 jobs. I was just amazed by that. But let's talk about the strikes themselves. And so far, they've remained very peaceful, but they are growing across the country. Where do you see this going from here? It seems that they are getting more organized.
Yes, I believe social media allow a lot of movements to grow, because it's a really easy way to promote any movement that you want to promote. The problem is, if you're looking on the long term, it's really difficult for them to get what they are expecting. And I believe that the promise that they make when they offer them to join the movement is not sustainable, because it's not possible that they will be able to raise like 60% of the salary.
Do you think it's like a cowardly thing or a courageous thing to go out there and strike?
I think they have reasons, and I think they have a desire to be part of the fabric of this company. And we can talk about the people who have 5 restaurants and they've made it to the top and they're owners. But they're few and far between.
But Dr. Bart, they can with hard work. And what in this, of all industries, this is the industry where if you put the hard work in, you can move up. They will move you up, and you don't have the education, or they'll give it to you. So I don't think handing them all this money at the lower level is helpful. And it's not fair, and it's not right.
Do you think we would have been seeing these kinds of strikes and the magnitude of these strikes across the U.S. if it wasn't for the Occupy Wall Street movement?
That probably did help, and I think it's the attitude too of being given a lot of money for less work. I think it's lopsided. It shouldn't be that way.
But it does shed the light on the fact that the U.S., there's a great deal of people that people think it's the United States of America, and we don't have that many people at the poverty level. We are seeing more people at the poverty level, more people going to food kitchens. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, I objected all this money. I mean, all this money going to $15 an hour, and that's not what they're going to get? It's not all this money. These are the people who were discarded in the last election cycle. You know, they don't pay their taxes. I mean, it's ridiculous. They should be part of the fabric, they should have a stake in this. They're not all going to be owners, they're not all going to be night managers either, but they work hard, and there should be a reasonableness to this.
Luis, your thoughts?
I also think that the one solution is to become a business owner, because in the Hispanic community, we can see that when somebody open a business, could be a little storefront, they have 5 times more chances to save money than if they keep their wage job. Now the other thing is, a lot of people think that it is really difficult, but that's 90% of the businesses in the US are micro businesses. They employ less than 5 people. That's the American way. And I really believe that that's an opportunity for them.
Well, Congress last voted, let's talk about the minimum wage right now, the federal minimum wage in 2007, and President Barack Obama's call to raise it to $9 an hour from $7.25 has basically gone nowhere in Congress. Do you think it should at least go up to a couple dollars more, $7.25 right now?
I do.
The average fast
I do,
food
because
worker.
I think the mindset of the country and its minimum wage should be at a certain level, which makes sense. At some point, it doesn't make sense, and I think that having it at a level where people can participate and feel part of what's going on is a good thing.
Well, it's certainly not $15 an hour. I think that's outrageous. And Liz, you're exactly right. I love what you have to say about that. I mean, if you work hard, you can make it. You really can.
I just want to add something. Is if one of every 3 micro businesses in the U.S. hire 1 more person, America will face full employment. That's the power of micro businesses.
It's an interesting analogy, right?
Yeah, the idea is people have opportunities. I just came to this country in 2004. I'm a business owner, and I'm a small business advocate. And it's a proof that if you have enough knowledge and you put a lot of effort, you can make it. Now, the thing is, you cannot do that through working just 8 hours a day. I work 14 hours or 16 hours because, you know, it's too many things to do. And also, every time that somebody offers you the opportunity, you need to take it. Because if you say, no, it's Saturday afternoon, I have something to do, somebody else will take that opportunity.
I think we all like the opportunity that these businesses provide. We all get that. But I do think that being part of the process means that you should be paid at least a reasonable
Not 15
amount.
bucks an hour. That's too much. I mean, look what Louis did. If this is a way to do it, I mean, you started a business, you worked 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, whatever you had to do, and these folks just want to, skate by and 15 bucks an hour. They don't want to do the hard work. Forget it.
One thing is working hard is one part, but also if somebody start a business, they will make almost the same salary. The only thing is they will make their own salary. They will get, but if you open if you open a beauty salon, you will make $8 per hour. You don't make 20, you don't make 15. And the other thing is we also need to be aware that the salary need to be competitive, because if not, they will move those jobs somewhere else. That's the reality.
Let's just talk about the psychology of these striking workers right now. Do you think they're going to continue right now, Dr. Rossi? Does it look like they're going to?
That's a great question, because what I see in this country is the unions have taken advantage of their situation in the past. We all know that. And now I think we're going back to another situation where workers are being taken advantage of to a great extent. I do like the opportunity. I like what these companies can provide. However, abusing or misusing workers is not a good thing, and now I think the cycle is going to go back, and I think it will happen.
Would you call this abuse, though? I mean, that's a pretty harsh word.
Not necessarily
no
abuse.
Way abuse. Let them work harder. People are not working hard enough. You work hard, you're going to make it. I mean, that promotes laziness. Whenever you're giving all this money for a lower level job, forget it. Do what Louis did. Work hard and make it.
Well, what about raising the minimum wage, though? Congress hasn't talked about it since 2007. Should it go up to, say, something like $8, $9 an hour?
I think it's fine where it is.
It should go up to 9 at least.
Luis?
I hope that they can raise, but you also need to consider that is a lot of money that is going to the employees, like training, like a lot of different things, that if they take advantage of that, they can move on.
Well, for the three hardest workers here in television, we thank you for being here for this discussion. We're going to take a quick break now. Don't go away, everyone. When we come back, we're going to talk about another war that's brewing, and this time it's two tech companies who are battling it out.